Well, hello, everyone. My name is Swamp. And yes, you've heard right. Theodore Kaczynski, Ted himself, has passed away today. And, murdering a lot of people and, blowing people up, not super great, not something that I'm in favor of. But if you read, the first manifesto he put out, and he also has written other books. Well, I remember years ago, people saying that, well, time would prove Mr. Kaczynski right. And sure enough, it has. So R.I.P. Kaczynski, you murderous sack of shit. But you weren't wrong about everything else. All right, while we wait for people to come in and join the stream, we got to start with a little private snafu. That's how we do it. It's Archive Saturday. Let's check it out.
A soldier returns from the global grind. Home is ahead, the front is behind. A soldier returns, and his hometown is proud. Look at that brass band. Look at that crowd. Our returning hero has, no doubt, a million things to talk about. Safe at home, away from battle, restricted stuff makes harmless prattle.
Our outfit's number 999. Now, we hold the center of the line. The British hold the hills just west. A pillbox here, machine gun nest, 200 medium tanks, the best.
Now you've got that off your chest, why not go out and blab the rest?
Our landing field, boy, is that sweet. It measures 15,000 feet with 9 new runways, all concrete. Those new Jap tanks sure pack a punch. They knocked out Battery B. If those nips ever start to push, they'll shove us in the sea.
Oh man, he said nips. That's gonna get me in trouble on YouTube. That's not me. All right, that's just what it said.
What hit you, Tojo? Wouldn't you like to know?
I know what did it. What made the big hole? Our new flying bazooka with radar control. You see, I know all about it. I was right there. I seen it with my own eyes. The propelling charge is attached to the tail surface.
This son of a bitch. This son of a bitch, man.
Therefore, giving the bore a casual stroke pending on the setting of the carburation, which is time with the idiots spark plugs, which in time can for instance. Our very next move, well, this is straight from the boss, is amphibious attacks on the Shushara parts, see? I've gone removing the flagellants are all galore. A new prank of stifles I'll just throw to the shore. Naturally, it concerns not only, but without it, what would we have? Indubitably. And by the way, speaking of convoys, do you know that when I sailed with a 999, without a single ship to protect us, why, the things we saw en route and the places we went. Now, this is strictly confidential, and you'll treat it so, I hope. But strictly confidentially, here's the latest dope. Now, coming in at 74 degrees, we placed our guns and the major artillery around here. And besides that, not all good.
You might just as well write it all over the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, the War Department regrets to announce that due to recent leaks and restricted military information, our entire 999th Division has been annihilated by the enemy.
The 999th? My own outfit. Some guy shot his mouth off. Any joint that'd do that ought to be run over by a streetcar.
Well, now you know. Watch it, you know? I do think it's funny that nowadays we kind of conflate what they were talking about here with whistleblowers. You know what I mean? Where it's like, if you're in favor of Snowden, you'd be in favor of this stuff. That's not at all the same thing. Don't give away positions. It ain't right. Like that guy that was on Discord. Remember recently, not my Discord, but the Discord leaks recently, just spreading random stuff. Ain't right. It ain't right. You know what? Let's do one more private snafu. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
First class, at your service. Now, gentlemen, the purpose of camouflage is to conceal things you do not wish to be seen. Now, the first man in history to use camouflage was Adam, back in the Garden of Eden. But, gentlemen, the fig leaf today is not enough. Modern camouflage is an art and a science, if used intelligently. Take cover, stupid. Take cover. Uh-oh. Them tracks, they reveal your position.
You do know what the modern equivalent of this is, right?
What about
Like what they do nowadays? It's Call of Duty. And it's not even teaching you anything good. It's just a recruitment tool. It's not even actual information. I'm pretty sure the US Army has its own free version of like a Call of Duty game. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Go Army or, some super generic name. I don't know. I haven't played it, so maybe they do actually share decent information. I don't know.
What about that track? Bitte, mein Herr, haben Sie ein Like? Danke. Of course, the enemy sometimes uses camouflage too.
You know what? I think we've watched this one before. It's hard to keep track. You may fire when ready, Von Gridley. So, gentlemen, if you want to fool them, remember this. Just make yourself part of the natural surroundings. Oh, see, there you go. We have watched this one before. I would remember. I remember mermaid boobs anywhere. We've definitely watched that one before. Sorry if you've already seen it. I know not everybody's watching every single one, so I think we're all right. All right. Should we watch? Let's see what I've got. I've got a few things pulled up. A film called Shoplifter that details the techniques used by amateur and professional shoplifters to steal over $6 billion in merchandise annually. This is in 1975. $6 billion in 1975 dollars is what they're claiming. And for emphasizing how much of this stealing could be prevented. Wow. That certainly sounds like an ordeal. We're definitely going to watch this one at some point because the title alone makes you want to watch it. The 1950s Thanksgiving, food preparation and family gathering in the 50s. Now that sounds downright nice. And I think Ted Kaczynski would appreciate it as well. I honestly wonder what Ted Kaczynski would think of all of the people who are making memes about him and telling him to rest in peace on the internet. Something that he absolutely was not a fan of. That was kind of his whole thing. I was just thinking about that. Anyway. And I've also put The Outsider, 1951, the tale of Susan Jane, the perennial outcast. Oh no, I think we've watched this one. This other Habit Patterns. Yeah, we watched this one already. I'll get rid of that. World War II spy training film, Undercover. I could get into that. You know what? Let's start with The Outsider, 1951, the tale of Susan Jane, the perennial outcast. This sounds like it's right up my alley. Yeah, I don't think it's that Outsiders. I think we're talking about a different Outsiders here.
Say, why don't we just make a party out of it?
Okay, let's have it Friday night.
Is that okay with everybody?
Sure.
Oh, bullshit. There was a kid that fat in 1951. No, wait, what year was this?
I wouldn't say that.
Hang on, what year was this? Wait. In 1951? And what a fat bastard. You know that he actually has thyroid problems. You don't get that fat in 1951 if you don't actually have the issue that all the modern woke people say that you have for being fat. I'm sorry. I've already had a drink before we started this. It's going to be a wild ride, you guys. And I opened this bottle of wine, and I'm not going to be buying a bottle of wine anymore based off of its label. I thought the label was cool. It's not great. It's not great.
No fooling. What are we going to have to eat?
Well, I'll bring some Cokes. Why don't you bring the sandwiches? Okay. I'll get Mother to make some potato salad. You might as well have the party over at my house.
Swell.
Okay, you girls bring the eats and we'll bring the records.
That'll be
Well,
swell. Okay.
Well, I gotta go to class now. So
You girls
long,
bring the
bye.
eats and we'll bring the records. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, look at the Outsider over there.
Susan Jane, what's the matter with you? Why is everyone else having such a good time when you're not? Why do they always leave you out? Do you look different? Is it some way you act? What makes you the outsider? The outsider, the one nobody asks.
Susan, let me help you out here. Because at this time there was definitely, short hair was actually in style for women. People act as if it was some kind of crazy revolution. Women started wearing short hair. No, the 50s had a lot of short hair. My grandmother had short hair in the 50s. Susan, this is not this is not feminine short hair. This kind of looks like little Bobby from down the street short hair. This isn't Julia Andrews short hair. That's I can dig that. And I do. This is the little autistic kid who doesn't like to get his hair cut. Haircut.
He asks.
Golly, this assignment will take us all night. Why don't you come over at my house and we'll work it out together?
Swell. I'll see you about 7.
Okay.
See, they have reasonable short hair. I like that.
Susan.
It's nice.
Susan Jane, you make
Susan
this
looks
grade.
like she's straight out of
You
The
could
Omen.
really help them.
This
Why
is
don't they ask
Damien.
you?
This is Susan Jane
Even in
Damien
things
over
you're
here.
good at, why do they make you the outsider?
Well, look, if it hadn't been for what they did in the ninth inning, we'd be okay.
Yeah, but did you see Joe out in center field?
He was-
Hi, Marcy. Hi, Dad.
Oh, hello, Susan.
Hi, Susan Jane. What do you know?
Nothing much.
And did you
Okay if I sit down?
Sure, go ahead, sit down. Let me tell you what this guy said. It's a scream. He said every one of our team was left-footed. He said, look at this South. What you folks gonna have this afternoon?
Hi, Jimmy.
I want a root beer. A chocolate ice cream cone, please.
That's what I want, too, a chocolate ice cream cone.
Oh, I believe I've changed
Oh,
my
now
mind.
we-
I want a chocolate ice cream cone, too.
Chris is in the chat trying to see if I'm serious about my leftist conversion. Susan is transgender. All right. That's going to be the twist because we've been told by so many people, this transgender stuff's been around forever. And it's been known forever. Since time immemorial. I'm pretty sure Eve was transgender, is what we're told. This is it, you guys. This is the test. Is Susan a transgender? Let's find out.
Why do the other kids do everything differently? They choose different things. They stick together on everything. Why are you always the one who's out of step? Is there something the matter with you?
Yeah, I know. The wrestling's supposed to be on.
Oh, is it? Good.
Here you are.
Oh, thank you.
Well, what in the world's the matter with her?
I don't know.
Suppose we said something?
We didn't say anything to her. Maybe that's the matter.
She's a funny girl. I don't think she likes us. Say, what's the matter with us?
Maybe more than you think. We might have tried to say something to her. Hi, everybody.
Hi, how's Latin test?
Too bad the second page is terrible.
I'm afraid I flunked mine.
God, that kid, it looks like that movie. What was that weird ass movie with the kid with the bunny? Gummo. That kid looks like Gummo.
Party tonight?
Sure.
I wouldn't want Gummo to talk to me either.
Will you, Jimmy? Just plenty of everything. That's all I want. Say, what's the matter, Marcy?
Oh, nothing. I just don't understand that Susan Jane Smith. We were sitting here eating our ice cream cones, and all of a sudden she just jumps up and leaves.
Who's Susan Jane Smith?
Oh, you know, that quiet girl in our homeroom. The one who sits in front of Freddie.
Oh.
Oh, that one, Mousy.
I think she's stuck up. She won't even speak to me, and I sit right behind
And that is
her.
a big
I
boy.
don't think she's stuck up. I think she's probably just scared of you.
Scared of him?
Scared of me? What for? I don't know anybody that's scared of me.
Well, just the same, I'll bet that's the trouble. I'll bet she'd be a lot of fun.
Oh,
if you just...
forget her. Let's all go over to Lewis's and look at television.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, let's all go over to Lewis's and look at television.
Hey, fellas, wait for me.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're doing.
Susan, I thought I heard you come. Why, Susan, what's
Damn
the
it,
matter?
Susan.
Nothing. Just leave me alone, Mother.
Susan Jane, something is the matter, and I want to know what it is. Now tell me.
It's no use, Mother. It's something you can't help. I must be different. I just don't fit in.
Why, of course you're different, dear. Everybody is.
No, everybody's not different. Oh, maybe they look different or dress different, but most people...
Yeah, maybe
school-
it was just that that first shot of Susan was particularly unflattering. No, I am getting kind of Sound of Music vibes off of this now. You know, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe I was quick to judge.
seem to belong. They plan parties together and do homework together. And they all choose chocolate ice cream cones.
Chocolate ice cream cones? Why, Susan, that doesn't make sense. Have they left you out of something? If that's it, we can have some of your friends over Friday
Oh,
and...
Mother, you don't understand. Can't you see? Nobody'd come to my party. They're having a party of their own, and I'm not in on it. I don't want you to give me a party. I want to go to theirs. I want to have fun with them. I want... Oh, what's the use? Nobody can help me. Not even you.
Nobody can help you, Susan Jane? Maybe you can. Sometimes it's hard to figure out why things happen the way they do. But sometimes there's a very simple answer.
You know what I would like is a simple answer to the question of why is it cute when you add Jane at the end of any girl's name? Any woman's name out there, you add Jane at the end, it seems cute. Why is that? Is there something wrong with me? Have I admitted to some kind of far-right extremist conservative something? I don't know. It's a fact. It's a fact.
Standing there in the hall the next day, all alone, weren't you? The way you always are. And you heard the girls talking. You thought they were talking about you.
Oh, no, we can't ask her. She's a creep.
Susan Jane, who's a creep? Who are they talking about?
You said it. She'd willed everything.
Can't you just see her not opening her mouth all evening, sitting there like a pole? Why can't she relax? And the clothes she wears.
It'd be different if she just put herself out a little, but oh no, she's too wrapped up in herself for that.
Susan Jane, wait a minute. They're not talking about you. But you didn't wait to hear that, did you?
We just can't ask Miss Simpkins to be the chaperone at our party. We've got to get someone else.
All right, we'll ask Miss Hatfield.
This is a really
Sure, she'd be
odd.
fine.
You realize what they're saying, right? Keep eavesdropping. This is a very strange. I mean, 1951, how to get to know people? Spy on them. Make sure that you eavesdrop until the end of the conversation. Otherwise, you won't really know what they're talking about. I feel like we generally get good advice from these 50s PSAs. I'm not feeling this one. I'm not feeling this one.
Say, Lois, why don't we ask Susan Jane Smith to come, too?
Why?
Oh, I don't know. It's just that something happened down at the drugstore. I think I told you about it. Maybe she feels the way I did once. Maybe we ought to be a little nicer to her.
Suit yourself. The party's at your house.
Hello? Yes, this is Susan Jane. Marcy? Marcy Clark?
Yes. Say, Susan, we're talking about having a party over here at my house Friday night. Not a real big one, just a bunch of us. Everybody's bringing something to eat. Why don't you come over? You could bring a cake.
Not a real
Nobody's
big one,
bringing
just a
that
bunch
yet.
of us.
But I thought you... Oh, no, I just...
Not a real big one, just a bunch of people. And, you know, this is one of the things that I do like about the classic old 50s, right? We're having a bunch of kids over. We're all bringing some food. How old are these kids supposed to be? High school, I guess. Oh, well, but even before I started drinking and getting into trouble, we would still go out with our skateboards and get into trouble. It was wholesome. It was wholesome. There's a bunch of just a mess of us kids getting together. Kathy's bringing over her pot roast. This is going to be great. We're going to have a good time.
Hello, Susan Jane? Hello? Hello? Susan Jane? Susan Jane, what is it?
Can't go. I just can't do it. They called me a creep. They said I'd willed everything. They said all kinds of mean things about me. And now they're inviting me to their party just so they can make fun of me.
Is Sarah Jane a ridiculous teenage kid or just an everyday teenage kid?
Mrs. Smith, I'm Marcy Clark. Oh, yes. I must have said something to Susan Jane. I don't know what it is, but I'm worried. Marcy, Susan Jane has the idea that you kids were talking about her. She thinks that you invited her to your party just because you felt sorry
All right,
for her.
here's the
no.
unbelievable part. You know, we were the kid went over to the house to say, "Golly gee, I sure am sorry. I think that maybe I said something to offend your daughter. Did this ever happen, you guys? I like to think that it did. I like to believe that it did. It's the only thing that keeps me fighting. It's the reason why I have the Grandpa Jones poster on the wall. We used to be a real nation.
Yes, of course.
Talking, I thought you were talking about me.
But we weren't. We don't even think that about you. Susan Jane, I want to be your friend. Will you come to our party?
Yes, I will. Gee, you must think I'm pretty silly.
No, because I felt the same way lots of times.
You?
Well, I have. I'll see you Friday. And don't forget to bring the cake.
Gee, to think I could be so wrong
now
about
now the real story is
And if
coming
I
out.
was
They just
wrong
want her to
about
bring the
them,
cake.
I might be wrong about
This is the modern day equivalent of when someone invites the kind of losery kid to a party, but it's because he's got an older brother who can get everyone the booze. No, Sarah Jane, we all really like you a lot. We think you're swell. And your mom bakes the best cake, so make sure to bring the cake. I'll see you later. No, those were better times. I'm sad now.
other things, too. Sure, I'm different from Marcy and the rest of the kids, but then they're different from each other, too. They make friends easily. Guess I'll have to work hard at it. And I'm going to start working on it right now. Mother, they've invited me, and I'm going. And this time I'm going to try to make them like me. I'm going to fix up. I'm going to join in and not hang back. I'm going to be friendly. I'm going to like them, and oh, Mother, do you think that'll make them like me?
Well, it's certainly a start, Susan Jane. Yes, I think this may be your chance.
Well, is everything set for the big feed?
If you mean the party, it's all set.
Just like we planned.
With one addition. Marcy's invited Susan Jane Smith.
Man, maybe I should have seen this when I was a teenager, because is this how you make friends? I didn't have too many friends, and I skipped the end of my own graduation to go play a punk show. Don't hang back and don't seem like you don't like people and you have friends. Man, I should have seen this when I was a kid. No, sorry, guys. Graduation, losers. I'm going to go play a punk show in some dirty-ass basement. And I'll walk out with a broken nose. That's what I'm talking about. No, those were good times, too.
Her.
Well, why not?
I don't know. I just never thought of her fitting in with us.
Neither did I. But, gee, we'll all be there, and if everybody's there, we ought to have a good time. Let's give her a try.
She may not be so bad. We don't even know her. We'll find out.
Bye.
Well, Susan Jane, this is your big moment. The moment you've been waiting for. This is your chance to show the gang what you really are. You've fixed your hair and have on a pretty dress. You've even found a book on what to do to make people like you. And you've made up your mind not to act like an outsider. But is this enough? Will it work? Will you do the right things? Will you say the right things? Will the gang accept you, Susan Jane? Will they do the right things?
Susan Jane,
Yes, Mother?
it's about time for you to go.
Do you know a boy or girl like Susan Jane? Does your group ignore boys and girls like her? This is reminding me of we need our the chart that we had last Saturday. Well, what was it? The to make sure you're acting your age chart? It kind of feels like this. I'm not going to lie. Do you know a boy or a girl like Susan Jane? Does your group ignore boys and girls like her? You know, I feel like maybe I should change the name of this stream. People are going to see Ted was right, RIP, and expect something completely different than what we're actually doing. Is that clickbait? Ted Kaczynski was right. And you click on it, and it's, Susan Jane was a sweet girl. Let's learn how to make cakes and be accepted at school. Or is that exactly what Ted Kaczynski was talking about? You know? Who's to say? Who's to say? I figured there was more. All right, number 3. What can a boy or girl like Susan Jane do to make friends? Well, apparently have access to cake, is what I've learned. How can the group help boys and girls like her? Sure, we got 2 more, right? Definitely have 2 more. No, oh, that's it. That's a short list of things from one of these types of PSAs. Oh, I just realized that my music was not coming through on there we go. Hang on. There we go. My bad. We're in the experimental phase here, guys. I'm streaming this to Discord as well. So if you're on Discord and you want to be an asshole, you know, in a way that YouTube won't let you, you can join the Discord. But seriously, though, I do think that the overall message is great. It's just it seems really cheesy now. I wasn't alive in 1951, but I think it still was probably a little cheesy then, too. All right, let's check out the shoplifter. Yeah, you know, me streaming to Discord, this is the first time. So it's brand new. I think I'm going to try to in the future. As I said it last time, maybe we'll add some kind of, we'll do our own members only stream after each Friday stream. So we'll go live here on YouTube, do the usual hour and a half, and then maybe go over to Discord. In the YouTube stream, stay on Discord, and then we can all scream racial slurs and really show all of our crazy right-wing identities. Or whatever it is that the liberal left thinks that we do. I don't know. Plot the downfall of black people or something. whatever it is that we do. I don't know. Or we could just switch to having call-ins on there, like we used to do a long time ago on Over the Legal Limit. All right, up next, ladies and gentlemen. Shoplifter from 1975. The film details the techniques used by amateurs and professional shoplifters to steal over $6 billion in merchandise annually. Again, I have to know, is that $6 billion in 1975 dollars? I find that hard to believe. This has to be adjusted for inflation, right? I don't know. Maybe if they're considering all thefts across the entire country in all markets, and not just retail, but I mean across, we're including bank heists and Wall Street and government embezzlement. I mean, surely that has to not. I mean, They can't be 6 billion in 1975. Oh, so yeah, in the Discord showing the conversion. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way this is 6 billion in 1975 dollars. Someone's lying. Someone's lying, damn it. What even is that? That's 33. So 6 billion in 1975 would be 33,832,304,832. That's I find it hard to believe, but we'll find out, I guess. I guess this documentary is here to show us. I think it makes more sense to say 1 billion in 1975 and 6 billion today. I think that makes way more sense. Maybe this was government propaganda trying to get people more afraid of shoplifting than they actually needed to be, you know? Government has been known to do that. All right. Oh, no, wait. No, wait, am I misunderstanding the conversion? Oh, this is what's going to happen if we've got the Discord going as well. Well, I guess, join the chat in Discord. So 6 billion in 2023 is worth 1 billion in 1975. That makes much more sense, I think. I think that makes more sense. I don't know.
The thief. They belong to the business executive, the grandmother, the college student, the teenager.
This one's much quieter.
The
Where's
worker.
the... Huh?
But many merchants don't guard against these hands, even though they annually steal $2 billion, more than all
right,
the
crank it
nation's
up.
burglars and stick-up men combined. They are the hands
really quiet.
of the shoplifter.
The shoplifter. Man, that was classic 70s. I'm sorry. I was trying to go over here and crank up the sound so I could hear it better. I gotta watch that again. That was fantastic. The shoplifter. All right, do it again.
Mind. They are the hands of the shoplifter.
Yeah. Dude, I'm so in on this. You know what I think is funny? Is one of these days, very soon, and maybe even on this stream, I'm going to be talking some mad shit on the Discord side of it and not realize that I didn't mute the YouTube side of it, and then I'm going to get in trouble. Just going to start saying some crazy ass shit because I think I'm only live on Discord, and that'll be it. That'll be the takedown. I'll try to stay on top of it for the sake of the channel. But that's the kind of golden content you can expect if you join the Discord. And I guess since I'm already plugging that, might as well talk about the super chats to support the channel, activate the super chat jukebox, all the good stuff. The Armory, the Swamp Armory, merch out there still available. The year 2 the year 2 pint glasses are still available too. I think that's going to be my gauge every year of how well the channel is doing or if it's growing, is if we sell more than we did last year. Year one, we sold a few. It was great. I was super stoked on it. At this point, I think I've sold way, way, way more. I don't know the exact number, but yeah, it's been a lot more. So I appreciate that, you guys. And I did have a picture of it somewhere, but I guess I forgot to do it. But of course, you can always send money to the disc or to the PayPal. If you're on the Discord and you're not using super chats. All right, let's go. Let's go. I'll shut up.
Excuse me. Your business is selling merchandise, right?
Yes, it is.
That's right.
Yes, and merchandising is the way to do it. Appealing displays, easy to serve oneself, and make them want it.
Unfortunately, many customers take this serve yourself too literally. And about 1 of every 60 customers entering your store will want it so badly, they will attempt to steal it. The shoplifter knows the hand is quicker than the eye of an unobservant salesperson. It's the hands that do the stealing. The amateur shoplifter may steal because she can't resist an opportunity to get something for nothing, because of need, for the thrill of it, for luxuries, for psychological reasons. Shoplifters come from all economic levels. The most active days are Friday and Saturday. Opening and closing hours and lunch hour are choice times because that's when alertness by sales personnel is usually the lowest. But who steals, why, and when they steal makes little difference to the salesperson who does the most efficient job possible. Alertness and courtesy by you are the greatest deterrents to shoplifters. And it goes without saying that protecting your store's profits enhances your opportunity for salary increases. And it directly affects you as a customer in other stores, since shoplifting losses are added to the price of merchandise. Here you see actual
Now I know for a
footage of
fact,
professional
and
shoplifter at work.
I've had this explained to me. That is 100% not true in the modern day. Theft and different things, all that means is that there was black people who were oppressed, who were burning down a Target. Does not at all affect the prices of your goods. Come on. Times change. This is some outdated, bigoted thinking. And I am greatly offended. Greatly offended.
She is about to commit a theft. No one in the supermarket knows what is taking place. She stacks these steaks neatly, too neatly. To an unobservant salesperson, she may appear to be an average housewife. But an alert salesperson will notice the large coat, full skirt, and big purse. These make for quick and easy concealment of merchandise. Notice how easily she slips the steaks under her dress, holding them between her legs. This is one of the many methods of boosting, the professional term for shoplifting. And it's the most common technique employed by the female pro. Given enough privacy, she can make off with portable television sets, typewriters, radios, tape recorders, and small appliances just as easily. She can steal items weighing as much as 25 pounds. She buys 1 or 2 inexpensive items to cover her presence in the store. It is folly for retail merchants to attempt to cut selling and operating costs by reducing the number of sales personnel. An adequate sales force ensures good customer service and is far less expensive than losses to shoplifters. What this shoplifter can steal in seconds will more than pay the daily wage of a good salesperson. By stealing cartons of cigarettes, this professional can easily earn $100 a day. She earns as much or more when working drug stores, clothing stores, hardware or discount stores. This woman represents a growing number of shoplifters who are taking advantage of the self-service store. The removal of barriers between goods and customers and the improved display techniques, which are psychologically designed to increase buying. Although the professional makes up only about 10% of those stealing from you, the dollar value of what they steal far exceeds that of the amateur shoplifter. Pros usually steal expensive items, later selling them for about half the retail price. The security chief of one large department store believes one professional shoplifter is more costly than 100 amateurs, while some store managers claim the small but frequent theft of the amateur is their greatest loss. Smaller stores can't afford security personnel, and boosters know it. They are also quick to recognize sales personnel working on commission, because a stall will usually send them scurrying to a hotter sales prospect. And that's what the shoplifter wants, privacy. But regardless of who is the greatest threat to store profits, the amateur or the professional, most shoplifters can be deterred by observant sales personnel who acknowledge all customers, letting no one go unrecognized. Personnel who treat everyone as a customer. This professional will be the first to admit that the presence of an observant, alert salesperson would have sent her away empty-handed. This is the merchandise she carried out of the store. However, she neglected to pay for these items. The average housewife does about 90% of her family shopping and more than 85% of the nation's shoplifting. She is a typical amateur shoplifter. She may feel your store owes her something, that such a small item won't be missed. Her purchase came to $13.50. Most supermarkets operate on a very low profit margin. The theft of a 99-cent item represents a substantial loss based on what this housewife purchased. And she'll probably be back tomorrow or the next day. Don't allow empty cartons to accumulate in the front of your store. Many a request for what you think is an empty box has been prompted by the knowledge that it has been filled with your merchandise by an accomplice. Men also pull this trick, stuffing meat, cigarettes, or other items down their trousers and covering it with their shirt. Placing tags inside the wrapping can eliminate much of this. Switching containers, putting expensive items into cartons formerly containing inexpensive items is a popular trick. An alert cashier will notice all tears and broken seals. It's easy to slip items under her knitting. Beware of customers bringing bags, boxes, or any large container into your store. No, these slacks weren't exactly what she wanted. The green ones are. Use the check system. Make sure everything is returned. This woman gambles that a bag from another store will not be searched. It's better for the purse to be too large than too small. Wearing a rain cape on a sunny day should arouse your interest. Some shoplifters don't always hide their thefts. They merely exchange their old for your new. Here's a happy customer. Happy that the clerk wasn't alert. Didn't check inside the cooler. Unpackaged clothing should always be checked. One clerk didn't take the time. Switching pinned-on tags and tied tags gets this shopper a $25 coat for $13. Knowing your merchandise will curb this theft technique. With the aid of this clever booster box, only 2 seconds are needed to steal an expensive camera. Here is another type of booster box. It's carried by the shoplifter for the convenience of his companion. Not all packages are what they seem to be. The cleverly arranged ribbons conceal the opening in this box. Many service areas provide supervised checking facilities for their customers' convenience and for their own protection. Professionals often work in pairs. No one could be more casual than this customer, despite all the activity going on behind her. She
Super casual.
Often a hidden zipper allows a lifter to do her own stuffing while the partner acts as a lookout. Here is a shoplifter making her selection while her companion serves as lookout. The chosen dress is placed under her arm temporarily. She doesn't plan to carry it out.
These are good tips, you guys. I hope you're writing this down.
Sorry, these won't do.
That's right. She's wearing the stolen dress under her own. Clothing left
Was it only women stealing stuff in the 50s? I mean, there's only been like 2 or 3 guys.
Clothes. Check fitting rooms frequently
in the
for
70s.
Left inside. This man appears interested in a suit. His companion is even more interested. Female boosters can take 3 or 4 suits, including hangers, in one motion, holding them between their legs with comparative ease.
Oh, there you go.
Sometimes a partner will enter the store first, select the suits to be stolen, and put them on the end of the rack for easy identification by the confederate who will do the stealing. If a professional shoplifter can get an item between her legs without you seeing that item,
there it goes.
she can steal it. This method can be used in any store to steal almost any item. Articles displayed on the counter's edge are easily stolen. An observant sales clerk would notice the clothing difference between mother and child, raincoat and sunsuit. This man had a profitable day. It's good merchandising to display as few articles on the counter as possible. A booster would hesitate to take a loan item since it would immediately be missed and draw attention to his presence. On a rainy day,
You know,
this
all
shoplifter
I'm
simply
seeing here is how invested you actually had to be to steal. Nowadays, you can just walk in there, wave at everyone, and be like, hey, I'm going to take some shit. And have your trash bag and just clean the place out. And then say, do something about it. This is California. There were some clever SOBs back in the day, you know? Now it takes nothing.
palms the tag and walks out of the store. Stealing larger items requires more self-possession. It is estimated that 1 of every 60 customers to enter your store tomorrow will try to steal something. The key to defeating this rising tide of shoplifting lies with you, the observant store employee. Even the cleverest shoplifter cannot steal from you if you realize that quick, courteous service to customers is your primary function. Police and retail security reports reveal that the most effective solution to shoplifting is the prevention of the theft. To steal from you and your store, the shoplifter must have 2 favorable conditions.
It's a fake mannequin back there. That's actually a guy watching to see if anyone's stealing.
And privacy to steal it. Since you are in the business to sell merchandise, you must display your wares. The stress, therefore, must be on the reduction of the shoplifter's sense of privacy. You can do this by doing the best job of selling you can. quickly acknowledge and serve all customers, even if you feel they are not ready to buy.
Is that why salespeople are so annoying?
Peepholes and observation points also eliminate the shoplifter's sense of privacy.
Oh, shit.
But 100 observation points.
They didn't have
television cameras.
I was going to say, did they not have closed circuit TV then?
Compensate for good salespeople who are aware of everything going on around them. These devices contribute to the shoplifter's feeling that they are being watched. But when a shoplifter spots
now it's just getting creepy.
They know they're being watched. Service to customers is everything in your job. It not only increases sales, but decreases shoplifting. If you treat everyone as a customer, you will have performed your duty as an efficient, courteous salesperson. And if they are a shoplifter, you have prevented a theft. An adequate number of salespeople during busy hours ensures prompt service and prevents mass shoplifting. A uniformed guard patrolling your aisles is also a strong deterrent to stealing. Other shoplifting preventatives include elevated sales stations for complete surveillance and therefore maximum control over your merchandise. Adequate lighting and low displays permit greater visibility. Shoplifters develop patterns for stealing. For example, a shoplifter never keeps his eyes
Look at
on
that
the
guy.
merchandise. He watches you and the customers around him, waiting for that moment of privacy when he can steal. Beware of loose coats. They can conceal countless types of items. Alertness on your part is the strongest preventative to shoplifting. Awareness of all customers. Knowledge of your merchandise. Serve all of your customers as quickly as possible.
Oh, they're really
Even if
just
you are busy with one
they're really just
customer,
hitting all the same things over and over again, aren't they? Man, look at all the stuff they used to go through to try to get you to not steal. Like I said, now you can just walk in and take shit. I mean, that's... You see it on the internet all the time. A group of 15 youths can just come in and take whatever they want and just walk right out. And if you try to stop them, you get arrested. All right, let's move on to something else. Is it 1950s Thanksgiving, maybe? World War II spy training? What else we got here? I know I had something else pulled up. Where the hell did I go? All right, fine. I guess it's time. 1950s Thanksgiving. I expect this to be wholesome. We're definitely going to end with the World War II spy training. But that's an hour long. So I think we'll watch the 1950s Thanksgiving. And then we'll close with some World War II spy training.
It's news. Real food news. Turkey, once only a fall and winter holiday star, can now, because of better ways of breeding, of packing, table-dressed, quick frozen, be put on your table when you want it, 365 days in the year. Not just at Thanksgiving and Christmas, but in June or July, April or May. And it's news, too, good news, that now there's a turkey for every size family. 12 to 25 pounders for large families, and a new 5 to 10
Yeah, I wonder if
pound
this was
variety
was originally in color, or if they colorized it. Let's see. I mean, it could have been in color. Depends on when it was put out. It doesn't give a specific date. It just says 50s. You know, these archive things need to do a much better job of, you know, giving you actual archive information.
Families. With all this good news, we in the Marie Gifford kitchen wanted to make sure that the information was made available to every homemaker. So we prepared to send out a special service bulletin on the newest in round-the-year ways to buy and serve turkey. One of the big headlines is that today, instead of the long-established way of getting a turkey, only partially up.
Hold on, we have our first super chat of the night. Notifications aren't working. What's up with that? Here, let me test it. Maybe it'll wake it up. It happens sometimes. It's why I stopped putting the chat on screen. I used to like having the chat on screen, but the Streamlabs chat box is just so inconsistent that I decided to take it down because it just wasn't working properly. But all right, cut the music. The first super chat jukebox of the night. Oh, wait. It's not working, but that seems to be happening a lot lately. What? Alert box isn't working. Super chat jukebox isn't working. All right. For some reason, it's showing that, which makes no sense. I've had all this working fine for months, and then it seems like in the last 2 weeks it's been being a real bastard. Let's try it again.
It's crazy. I've never seen anything so stupid in my life. Woke. You know what woke means? It means you're a loser. Woke. Everything woke turns to shit.
There we go. Oh, and now the alert is waking up and working apparently. So, Catherine, I'm sorry. The alert for yours never came through. Apparently, it's back on now. I guess one day I'll be a professional and I'll have all kinds of stuff that I've paid for. But in the meantime, Streamlabs will have to be what it is, you know? For the second super chat, here we go.
We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us.
Classic. All right, back to the 1950s Thanksgiving. I heard they had this new technology called a frozen turkey. This is getting sci-fi. It's getting sci-fi.
Oven ready in a style known as New York dressed. You can buy a turkey that is completely and immediately ready for stuffing and roasting. That's the modern, quick frozen table dressed turkey. And the other headliners are the new Beltsville turkeys, weighing only 5 to 10 pounds, meal size, small family size. A new breed, especially developed by the United States Department of Agriculture Experiment Station at Beltsville, Maryland.
Man, if that doesn't sound like a red flag to you, I don't even know what would sound like. A new breed from the experimental facility, something or other from the... God. Surely that can't mean the same thing it means nowadays, right? It can't. Maybe it does. I mean, I guess this stuff did start. I don't know. Yeah, late 50s, early 60s, when all of our food started to become not food, or there was some kind of food base that was heavily modified. Let's see. Well, I got to hear that again. What did she call it?
A new breed, especially developed by the United States Department of Agriculture Experiment Station at
United States Department of Agriculture Experiment Station. Don't buy this. Don't buy it.
Beltsville, Maryland. Specially selected birds, as are all these turkeys. Buttermilk and grain-fed, expertly, completely cleaned, the turkey's transparent wrap to keep in moisture, all the fine flavor quick frozen in. The larger ones labeled as to the exact kind of bird, hen or tom, exact weight shown on every bird, table dressed, ready for the oven, ready at their peak of flavor perfection any time in the year. That is news. To compare costs between a New York dressed and one of these table dressed turkeys, a New York
It couldn't be as bad back then, right? I mean, that's an actual damn turkey. I mean, that's a turkey. That's not what you buy in the stores now. That's an honest to God turkey.
And one of these table dressed turkeys, a New York dressed turkey was weighed as it is sold at the market, with head and feet on, viscera in. This is the weight you pay for in such turkeys. This is what you have left to cook. Here are the discarded parts.
There's no way that's the same bird.
1/5 of its original weight.
No way that's the same bird. That was a huge bird, though. I mean,
when you buy a convenient table-dressed bird of the same weight, you pay only for the meat you can eat.
oh, they're saying that. So this was the start of all this. Buying the actual bird is a pain in the ass. Let us do it. The state agricultural experiment, whatever. Buy our turkeys. I'd like to know what they were doing to them, because I find it hard to believe that it's as bad as it is now. It can't be. It can't be.
As you can see here. So with a fine value story to feature, into our bulletin go notes on how to give quick frozen table-dressed turkeys treatment worthy of their fine quality. First, how to defrost. If you have plenty of time, let defrost gradually in your refrigerator in the regular food compartment. Allow 24 hours at least. Or if you're in a hurry, put under cool running water for 1 to 3 hours. When just pliable, the leg can be moved. Turkey's ready. And once defrosted, don't refreeze. Turkey's a delicate food. Thaw and cook and eat. Now, defrost.
Damn, those are some decent sized birds.
Minus dressing, giblet dressing. First, remove the parchment wrapped packages of giblets.
Wait, there's frozen. Wait, inside the bird? Okay.
Place in salted water sufficient to.
They freeze the giblets and wrap them in paper and put them in. I don't know that. I guess I buy turkeys locally, so I guess I don't have that.
Be sure to get giblets from neck cavity. And simmer 1 hour. chop giblets fine for the dressing and save the broth for both dressing and gravy.
Well, now I'm ready for Thanksgiving. I mean,
And here
jeez.
are the ingredients for a magnificently
Yeah.
flavorful stuffing.
That's what I'm talking
Quantity
about.
will be right for a 12-pound bird. A 6-pound meal-sized bird would use just half as much. 3 quarts of bread cubes are toasted. The toasting really adds flavor. Over the toasted bread cubes, pour a mixture made by browning lightly 3/4 cup of chopped celery and 3/4 cup of onion in 3/4 cup of butter or margarine. Then add 1 tablespoon of chopped parsley, 1 tablespoon of salt.
Maybe I should try this year. Their recipe. Wow, she just dropped that salt right in the middle of the whole damn thing. Hopefully she's gonna stir that up.
3/4 teaspoon of poultry seasoning, the giblets, and 1 1/2 cups of the rich giblet broth. Note especially, this should moisten only lightly, since the dressing draws moisture from the turkey itself and could become too soggy if too much liquid is added. And now, news on how to stuff and truss.
Hey, learning how to prepare a Thanksgiving meal is a very important time in the stream to join.
1 teaspoon of salt. Stuff the neck cavity first. Fold the wings close against the
I just figured that, before we learn about espionage and spying in World War II, we needed to learn how to cook an appropriate Thanksgiving meal in the 1950s. This is important stuff. I'm gonna try this stuffing recipe. Nah, actually I'm not. I like my stuffing. My stuffing's better.
Pull the neck skin back over the wing tips and skewer thus. Stuff the body lightly. That stuffing is going to swell, so give it room.
Give it room.
Put 2 or 3 toothpicks or skewers across the opening.
Yeah, I'd like to know where this was. I mean, where was this broadcast? Like, who got to see this?
Then lace with a cord the way a boot is laced. Cross the ends.
I can honestly say I've never done this.
Wind around the legs. And draw the legs close together, tying securely to the tailpiece.
Home ec was one of the few things that I actually still had when I was in school. I think I was in 8th. No. Maybe it was when I was a freshman in high school. One of the few things I had that was actually even worth a damn. I didn't have anything cool when I was in school. They got rid of you didn't have any, workshop classes, no woodworking, no auto class, nothing. It was all sit down and shut up. Oh, really? You're suspended. That was pretty much my entire schooling career. Though I did learn how to remove stains from things in home ec. So that, I didn't learn how to cook turkey or anything, but washing clothes, that was in there. I think I must have been one of the last classes that had that. Because I know my brother didn't have anything like that. I must have been one of the last classes that had it.
actual roasting, the very best way is to put the bird breast down in a V-shaped roaster rack.
And tell me about it.
Sweet fat from the back can melt and run
Tell me about
carefully
it.
down through the breast meat. Brush all over with melted fat. Halfway through the roasting, turn breast up. And there you are, turkey ready to roast, prepared exactly the same way, whether this meal-sized Beltsville or the larger bird. Here's a special news tip. When the roasting time is given as so much per pound, this means so much stuffed weight. For an easy way to figure stuffed weight, just add approximately 1/4 to the weight shown on the wrapper of your table-dressed turkey. Say the bird weighs 13 pounds. Add 1/4 its weight for stuffing, 3 1/4 pounds. This adds up to 16 1/4 pounds stuffed weight. Figure roasting time for this weight. It's all here on the chart. A 16-pound bird like this, 15 to 17 minutes per pound, or about 4.5 hours. For the smaller 6-pound meal-sized turkey,
What a bunch of nerds. Are they looking at a piece of
or
paper?
about 3.5 hours.
They know about
Keep the oven low.
smartphones? Jeez.
325 degrees. Turkey goes with so many dishes.
Now that
For
looks
this dinner,
fantastic.
Say for a Sunday in March, we suggest crabapple pickles, buttered green beans, mashed potatoes.
This is just for an average Sunday? Just an average Sunday dinner? That's what I'm talking about. This whole video is saying about how to make a Thanksgiving dinner. This is just an average Sunday dinner in March? That's what I'm talking about. Holy shit. Better times, man. Better times. Here's your nothing fancy meal. A turkey that took you 18 hours to cook. Rolls that you made from scratch. Green beans, stuffing, gravy, mashed potatoes. This is good for your average Sunday. Hell yeah. No wonder there was an overall higher level of happiness. That's just what the data shows us, okay? Once they started polling general happiness, man. Can't imagine being out working my ass off all day and then be like, oh, wow, okay, this is... It was worth it.
The turkey's out of the oven. A meal-sized Beltsville, 5 to 7 pounds. Just right for a family of 4 to 5. And there it is, eating ready. The family's just as ready, and there's that bird. A delicacy to feature to make any meal festive. Easy to serve, calendar round.
You know what? What the hell happened to this country? This was an average calendar round meal? Man. Obviously, I'm being slightly sarcastic. I'm actually more talking about the presentation of it. And in general, what all of these archive streams make me feel is that, I mean, come on. Look at the presentation. Not just the food, I mean, the living room. Everybody's looking nice. Fantastic, man. I'd take that over some crappy microwave food or the stupid crap that I've noticed this recently because everyone's been pushing for boycotts and stuff of these different like fast food places and stuff because of the the success of the Bud Light boycott, so they're trying to boycott these other things. Do people actually eat just absolute garbage food 24/7 all the time? I kind of wish that even one of these things that was being boycotted, I actually ate. Because then I could boycott it and send a message. If you were consistently eating fast food, I honestly don't even remember the last time I've had anything from a fast food place. Because people like upset now about Chick-fil-A too, which has always been the right-wing chicken of hate. But I guess what was it? The guy, the CEO or something? He's all wokey or whatever, and I don't eat at Chick-fil-A. Do people really do this? You have 3 meals in a day, which I already think is kind of ridiculous. I don't have 3 meals in a day, but for more than one of them eat fast food. That's just kind of remarkable to me. And you drink Bud Light. I gotta say, the conservatives being able to push out, affecting people like Bud Light this much is worrisome in and of itself. Hey, great. Boycott them because they're being assholes. I get it. There was that many conservatives doing this in the first place? You were out there drinking Bud Light and eating Chick-fil-A on a regular basis to the point where you could cut their sales by 60%? That's sick. You need to... Damn. Get it together. You fat bastards. None of this shit even tastes good. What's even... I don't know. It's not this. I can tell you that. This is fantastic. Damn. Okay. Stupid rant over. Should we do one more thing before we jump into the World War II spy training film? So we have World War II spy training film Undercover. OSS film from 1944. But this is an hour long, so it's going to be the last thing that we watch, if we watch it. Or should we watch another short little thing before we jump into that? Let's see what we got. How about maintaining classroom discipline 1947? And then we'll jump into the World War II spy training from 1944. Sound good? All right, cool. I'm glad we all agree. I used to have fun putting the votes in the chat so we could all pick. Basically, all you guys told me that you just pick whatever. Well, that's not as fun, Fine, sit there passively and drink your Bud Light and eat your Chick-fil-A. Oh, you guys are cool. You wouldn't be here otherwise.
The vast majority of behavior problems in the classroom involve minor breaches of discipline. These incidents frequently originate in the classroom situation itself and are within the control of the teacher.
Disciplinary problems in the classroom are symptoms of underlying weaknesses in total learning situations.
Sorry about that. The volume was going crazy there for a second. It blew out my headphones, so I hope you guys are all right.
Mr. Grimes, mathematics teacher, is displeased with the progress of his 9th grade class in mathematics.
You see what low grade you made on your weekly mathematics test? More than half of you failed. Most of those who passed just got by. Nobody had 100%.
Damn. In 2023, we would kill to have only half of the class fail. That would be awesome. What is it after COVID? We've got like 70% of students are well behind what grade level they should be at. Man, 50%. That'd be great.
This is the poorest class I've had in a long, long time. Most of you have no foundation at all. Now, the trouble's with your attitude. You don't pay enough attention in class. You don't do enough work outside of it. You don't know what the word study means. You haven't the slightest idea. Don't you realize that mathematics is an important subject? I tell you right now that unless you get over your lazy habits and come up to the standards I've set for this class, many of you will have the pleasure of repeating this course next semester. Well, what is it?
A note from Dr. Williams.
All right, that's all. I have to leave for a few minutes. Now, I want you to open your books and work out correct solutions of the problems you missed.
I can't make any sense out of this.
Look at that widow's peak on that kid. This is a Dracula's son over here.
This third problem. It's a jib.
He's got me scared to death. I'll just never pass this course. What's the use of taking this stuff anyway? I'm afraid to take my paper home.
He's just a sourpuss.
The trouble is, you don't know what the word study means. You haven't the slightest idea.
Oh, try
What is even... This is not at all what I expected.
What kind of behavior do you call this? Wait a minute, you stay where you are. This is the kind of behavior I might have expected of you. All I do is leave the room for a few minutes, and what do I find? Confusion, disorder. And you, what were you doing?
I was just going...
Going to what? Throw the eraser, I suppose. It's a good thing I caught you. I'll make an example out of you.
Oh, man.
That's enough out of you. Leave this room and report to the principal's office
The
immediately.
one kid that was trying to do the right thing.
Well, hurry up. Don't take all day.
Typical. I guess school hasn't changed that much.
Who did that? All right, since you think it's so funny, the whole class can stay in for 45 minutes this afternoon. Then you'll see how funny it is. Remember, the whole class is to report back here at 4 o'clock. Now, where were we?
I can't come. I got a newspaper out to do. I got football practice. He can go fly a kite.
I have a piano lesson. I can't.
Damn. I'm gonna start using that one, you guys. Why don't you go fly a kite? I got football practice. You can go fly a kite. I like that one. That's added to my list.
I think he's horrible.
Stop that whispering.
Mr. Grimes did not have a happy time of the week.
Who dropped that book?
Oh man, the kid who was the good kid's gonna become the bad kid because he was wrongfully
All right,
punished.
I'll wait till you're quiet.
Man. The kid who was trying to get everyone to study, he's gonna become the bad kid.
Many of you failed to hand in your homework yesterday. Now, you know that... What is this? Stop that noise.
These damn punk kids.
2 detentions. 3 detentions. Leave this room and don't come back until you're ready to apologize to me.
Well, this is going to get us nowhere. Maybe we'd better go back.
You know what's is interesting is that I've seen plenty of videos on TikTok of teachers where they're just at their wits' end because the kids aren't just shoving books off their desks or pretending to blow their nose. They're actually just beating the shit out of teachers now. Boy, the times they have changed. There was a video I came across recently with this teacher, and she's, I guess, mid to late 20s, and she's just crying about how I wanted to be a teacher to teach kids, and no one listens to me, and I've been assaulted multiple times in the last week alone. It's really not funny, but what else can you do but laugh? Oh, I know. Get some men in there. Maybe some guys, you know, with some badges. Oh, your parents never taught you this? Oh, we'll teach it to you. But that's a hate crime. Because it's only youths that do this, apparently. I'm sorry, am I not... Am I streaming to YouTube? Shit, I thought I was only streaming to Discord. It's totally fine. It's totally fine.
See if we can't find some of the causes of this undesirable learning situation. Just what was Mr. Grimes' purpose in making such statements as these?
This is the poorest class I've had in a long, long time.
This is hardly the way to win friends or influence people.
You don't know what the word study means. You haven't the slightest idea.
Might not be a bad idea to show them how.
Surely this isn't going to end up being a progressive thing, right?
Unless you get over your lazy habits and come up to the standards I have set for this class.
It seems like it's going to be progressive.
You will have the pleasure of repeating this course
for 19... Oh, what year was this?
What kind of motivation is this?
What year was it? 1947. Son of a bitch.
To what does it lead?
The trouble is, you don't know what the word study means. You haven't the slightest idea.
This reaction is the answer. It was the result of Mr. Grimes' provocative remarks. Now, take this.
It's a good thing I caught you. I'll make an example out of you.
Oh, come now, Mr. Grimes. By taking it out on the boy, aren't you covering up a symptom of your own deficiency?
Uh-oh. It's the discipline that's the problem.
Who did that?
Yes, who did? Some boy, probably. But the chances are it summarizes the feelings of the group. There is an unwritten code covering such situations. Why try to buck it?
All right, since you think it's so funny. The whole class can stay in for 45 minutes this afternoon.
Mass punishment is a dangerous weapon and doesn't work too well.
2 detentions. 3 detentions. Leave this room and don't come back until you're ready to apologize to me.
It's a long way to the end of the term.
I'm already confused. Where is this going to go, you think? I thought that a video from 1947 called Maintaining Class Discipline was going to have to do with, you know, a teacher maintaining discipline, not berating a teacher. I mean, don't get me wrong, the guy's a dick. He's a total dick. Where is it going to go? Where are we going to go from here? I have no idea. It's a mystery.
Till this end. Thus, what should have developed into a sequence of pleasant and valuable learning experiences had deteriorated into a series of disagreeable and injurious personal tensions. This is all wrong. Need any of these incidents have occurred at all? Suppose Mr. Grimes had tried another approach.
Most of you are disappointed in the low grades you made on this test. So am I. Nearly all of you had trouble with that last problem on ratio. Now, perhaps I didn't do a good job explaining ratio. Now, ratio is commonly used in everyday life. Mother uses it in the kitchen when she takes a recipe for a big cake and uses proportional amounts of ingredients to make a little cake, or vice versa. But let's suppose a recipe called for 8 cups of flour and 4 eggs. I wanted to make a cake half that size. How much would I use?
You'd need 4 cups of flour and 2 eggs.
That's right. You boys use it in the shop when you read a blueprint. As you know, a blueprint's merely a scale drawing of something that's usually larger. Suppose I had a blueprint of a bridge that's going to be 100 feet wide. But on this drawing, the bridge is only 10 inches wide. Now, how many feet would each inch represent?
10 feet.
That's right. Now, that's in ratio. Now, let's see where we made our mistakes. The problem was this. What is the ratio between 4.5 yards and 1.5 feet?
I guess we're supposed to be seeing here that it's only one or the other? I assumed this was what he was doing after he berated them and when they were acting crazy and being rude. And he was like, hey, stop being a jackass. Now let's learn this. But I guess they're saying it's one or the other? Well, that's absurd. I'm pretty sure it should be both. Why does this feel so strangely like the same as what we have today? How is this 1947? This kind of living in fantasy land thing was already being used? This has no bearing on reality. What is this nonsense? Oh, no, take it away. It's going great.
Now, you looked hurriedly at 4.5 and 1.5, said the answer was 3. Well, that's where you fell into a trap. What you forgot was that before you can divide, you have to reduce all units of measurement to the same unit. Now, what's the unit here?
Feet?
That's right.
By golly, I sure fell for that one.
First of all, let's change 4.5 yards into feet. That gives us 13.5 feet. And now we can divide 13.5 feet by 1.5 feet. The right answer is 9.
Wow, I see where I made my mistake.
Now, I want you to look over your papers very carefully and see where you made your mistakes. I'll come down the aisles, and if there are any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Yes?
No, from Dr. Williams.
All right, thank you. I have to leave for a few moments. On page 15 of your books, the first 3 problems are exactly like number 1 on the test. Suppose you do as many as you can until I get back.
All right, I'm bored with this now. I just don't agree with the premise, all right? I don't agree with the premise. This is that kind of wishy-washy, the way that I wish the world was kind of thing as opposed to reality. Which, you know what? When we're watching, you know, those like, you know, 1950s how to fit in kind of stuff is endearing and wholesome. To a degree, but this is just stupid. I mean, come on, get out of here. They still use this kind of mentality in schooling today, and I would like, I'd be interesting to see. Do we think that it's worked? They were talking about this in 1947. Holy shit. And we've only gotten further down this rabbit hole. And now we've raised 3 generations of retards. And I'm in that group. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that you're either a strict authoritarian who just is unreasonably angry all the time, or you're a... Now, everyone, if we could just all get on the same page here, and really, if we could all just vibe with one another and understand each other, and let's discuss on a peer-to-peer level, and let's see if we can't communicate with each other. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's stupid. As usual, I think the answer's in between. It's both. But maybe I'm reading too much into this because of my scars from my experience from my public school days. God, that was hell on earth. The public school system is garbage. If we could all just get on the same page and just repeal everything having to do with the public education system, that'd be great. Let's start over. All right, guys. We are going to end with the World War II spy training film. So, if you don't mind, check out the merch. Be armed, be dangerous, be moral. If you like guns, if you like being moral, if you like being dangerous. Of course, super chats. Activate the super chat jukebox and the PayPal link. Also helps support the channel. Help me buy some better wine. This is not a good bottle of wine. Holy crap! But I guess it gets the job done. All right, let's hit it. World War II spy training, 1944.
This picture you're about to see is the first cinematic study of the preparation, arrival, and establishment of permanent cover for secret agents. We are fortunate in having with us for this occasion Colonel Robinson, Chief of Schools and Training. Colonel, before we start the picture, perhaps you wouldn't mind saying a few words.
All right, Lieutenant. I will make this short because I know that you are all just as anxious to see this movie as I am. I wish that it were possible for me to meet all of you men personally. But since it isn't, I'll take this opportunity to say hello and to tell you that I'm glad you're with us. Many of you are going to desks in this country or to assignments in neutral countries where you may not be faced with the problems portrayed in this film. But if this brings you just a little closer to those men who are going into the hottest spots, I hope that it will help you to do a better job. This picture does not presume to give you all of the answers, of course. I do think, however, that it will provide a foundation on which to do your own building. For after all, no war service provides a greater scope for individual initiative and imagination than this job for which you have volunteered. All right, Lieutenant, take it away.
Thank you, Colonel. Okay, Al, let her go. Yes, this is an undercover agent. At least the popular conception of how such a fellow looks and behaves. He is inconspicuous. He blends with his environment. He is, in short, the ideal agent from the enemy's point of view. He's just the kind of agent the enemy is waiting for with open arms. And for that reason, just the kind of agent you aren't going to be.
Student Al?
Seem to have made a good impression at the schools. Nice work.
Thank you, sir.
Pull up a chair. Cigarette?
Thanks.
I think you were told something about your assignment before you went to E, weren't you, Al?
Yes, to obtain intelligence on aviation production and the position of vital targets in the capital district of enemy areas.
Correct. You're to set up an intelligence organization which will gather information for an SO operation. Are you set on your cover?
Not definitely. I've narrowed it down to two, either a government inspector or a chief mechanic.
Government inspector. Better for a native agent than a planted one. And these days, when enemy area is using every available man under 50 in the Army, people might wonder what special pull you had. Anything that makes people ask questions, even innocent ones, is bad cover.
Then you think the mechanic's the better bet?
If you're a good mechanic. You know nothing will blow you quicker than not knowing your job.
Well, I put in 7 years with General Motors, and with a little brushing up, I think I'd be all right.
Mechanic in an airplane plant near the capital. That might be the ticket. We know they need good mechanics so badly now that it might not take you too long to establish good permanent cover.
Now, if I could get a job on the night shift, I'd have plenty of time to devote to my hobby during the day.
Good. I like the way you're thinking. Now go to work. The background's familiar to you. You'll be able to get the latest material at the farm. The most recent laws and local restrictions, even the latest slang our intelligence has picked up.
Fine. I've already made up a list of things to check off.
Good. If there's anything you don't get that you think you need, doors are always open. And by the way, I'll get right to work on those financial details for you. Hope to have that insurance for your family pushed through before you leave.
That's very kind of you.
No, it's not kind. It's my job to do everything I can to help you think about nothing but your job.
Well, I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Right.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm student Charles. Lawyer, eh? Pretty good cover.
Thank you. Sit down. I'm going over your evaluations from the schools.
Oh, that stuff. I spent enough time on the other side to know my way around.
That's what you told him at E, after they took your pants off at the Thursday night round table.
If you set me down in a real spot, it'd be another story.
We're considering you for a real spot. We're trying to establish a man in one of enemy area's chief seaports to observe the naval concentration there and to find out whether or not there's a submarine base in that vicinity. Now, you could do it if you went in with the right attitude.
Look, if you think I've got the ability, don't worry about my attitude. Which port is it?
El Porto.
El Porto? My old stamping grounds. I could draw that coast with my eyes closed.
Well, this job calls for you going in with your eyes open. Now, you know the locale all right. But that isn't enough to get by. Now, think it over and come back when you're ready to talk cover.
I'm ready now. El Porto, let me see. I've got it. A fishing boat skipper. I've raced around there enough to know the channels by heart.
Fishing has possibilities. And we have a lot of contacts with fishermen around there, you know, who could probably take care of you.
Then it's all set.
No, it's just something to consider now. If it doesn't hurt your feelings, we'd like to bust you from skipper to an ordinary seaman. You know, every skipper is known to the shore patrol there, but if you were just a member of the crew, like the thousands of in every seaport, well, you might get by with it.
Get by with it? I talk the language like a native. I know those waters better than most natives. How can I miss?
Very easily. By going on like you've been going, by knowing all the answers before you even think of the questions. Now, we'll give you all the dope you require about this El Porto area, but just don't read it. Absorb it.
Okay, if you want to waste time. But I tell you, I know El Porto like a book.
Perhaps the enemy has added a couple of chapters since you've left.
Aye, aye, sir.
So you're all set on your story, eh?
Well, I'd like to try it out on you.
All right. Shoot. Let's see how closely it conforms to your own life. And don't forget, I'll be watching for errors as closely as an enemy police officer.
Here it is. My name is Albert Horn. Both my parents were born in enemy area, and I lived in Detroit for 5 years when I was born there in 1903. I was in Detroit until 1913 when my mother died, and I was sent back to live with my aunt and uncle in the capital of enemy area. I graduated from the gymnasium in 1920 and went to work in my uncle's bicycle shop. In 1924, I went back to Detroit and worked as an apprentice in the Ford plant. In 1926, I transferred to General Motors, where I worked as a machinist until 1931. From 1931, I was on relief until 1936, when I went back to my old job at General Motors. Just before my home country went into the war, I felt it was my duty to return there and serve in any way I could. Arriving here on the U.S. tourist passport, I volunteered with the engineers. And then, after a year and 3 months in the Army, I'm discharged with a bad back.
Ever had a bad back?
No, but I thought I could fake it.
Never say anything you can't prove. Why not make it sciatica? That's one ailment the best doctor in the world can't prove you haven't got.
Okay, sciatica. I convalesced for a short time in the country at a friend's house.
That will be the farmhouse you're taken to by the reception committee.
And then when I'm directed to find employment in an aircraft factory because of my technical experience, I come to the capital and make arrangements for an interview with the superintendent of the Falcon plant.
Sounds all right, Al. That story ought to stand up.
It's a little blip, perhaps, but it isn't bad. Now, you talk a good fisherman. Now you've got to learn to be a good fisherman. The next thing in your agenda is a couple of weeks with a commercial fisherman on the Grand Banks.
Won't I stink enough of fish on the other side without having to get a 2-week start?
Oh, it isn't a question of stinking like a fisherman. Oh, that's important, too. You've got to know the ropes. Literally, I mean.
But I'm a fisherman from way back. Why, I landed the biggest sailfish ever caught in Mexican waters back in '33. 189 pounds. You can look it up in the record book.
I'd rather read the records in your hands. Let me see your palms. Oh, you've got good calluses. I think a couple of weeks of salt water and hard work would really get you in shape.
But I've got to have some relaxation. After all, I'm not going abroad for my health. And it's my neck.
Now, that's where you're wrong. Once you join our team, it isn't a question of your own neck anymore. Those brains of yours are a vital connection point in our system of intelligence. When one fuse is blown, the lights go out all over the house. So, we're just as interested in safeguarding that neck of yours as you are.
Well, I'm not sure exactly how true that is, but sure, we'll go with that.
Hey, man, on that goddamn line, too!
Come on, come on.
Whether you're checked before you leave or on the other side, the principle is always the same. The most unimportant detail may be the most important. When you get your hair cut, be sure it's enemy area style. The hands must look as if they've done the work. Every scar must conform with your cover story. Clothes may not necessarily make the agent, but they surely break the agent if they aren't checked and rechecked.
That's an enemy area cut, all right, but it's too expensive for a mechanic. Well, that's the type of coat you would wear, but there aren't any left.
That's right. The Army got all the heavy coats in the last winter drive.
How about that one?
I think this raincoat would be better.
Every piece of clothing is examined for the right labels, the right
I think I have that shirt.
The proper amount of wear and tear. Every toilet article examined minutely.
How about this razor?
They use straight razors over there now because of the shortage of blades.
Even if your papers have been forged by experts from the most recent enemy area documents, proof them yourselves.
Just a minute. This Army discharge reads Alfred Horn. Everything else is Albert Horn.
Nice eye, Al. Just want to see if you're on the ball. You don't have to worry about the rest of those papers. Even the texture and watermarks have been duplicated.
Just as important as your official papers, and more subtle to select, are your casual effects, the odds and ends you happen to have with you that may be more convincing to the enemy area police than your identification and travel permit. The stickers on your suitcase, a handful of cigarettes, a train stub, an old address book, a letter addressed to you as a private in the Army from a girl in the town you're going to, and a snapshot of her with you in an enemy area uniform. Details, each one a thread woven into the pattern of your cover story. How many cases of blown cover you studied were due to neglect of some insignificant detail of cover that didn't seem worth checking a second time?
I think I played this mission in Call of Duty. Well, one of the Call of Duties, at least.
I've got 6 pence to last me all my life. I've got a tough pence to spend, and tough pence to lend, and tough pence to take.
And you gotta know the drinking songs.
He landed in Canada from a submarine 2 days ago. So far, he's doing all right for himself. His landlady believes he's a war worker from out west in British Columbia. This afternoon, his forged papers and his convincing line got him a job in an aluminum plant. No wonder he feels like joining in the singing.
Of the silvery moon, happy is the day when we line up for our pay as we go rolling, rolling home.
Say, that's not bad. Come on over and join us, will you?
Thanks. Don't mind if I do.
I got 4 pence, jolly, jolly 4 pence. I got 4 pence to last me all my life. I've got tough pence to spend and tough pence to lend, and no pence to send home to my wife, a poor wife. No cares have.
I want to know this song. Damn it. Dude, play it some more.
Thanks, but it's getting late. I better be going.
Oh, don't be a killjoy. We're just beginning to wet our whistles.
I'd like to have another drink with you boys, but I gotta be on the job at the crack of dawn. Good night, fellas.
Oh, we'll see you again.
So long. What's the damage?
That'll be $1.80, sir.
That's easy. Keep the change.
Thanks. Come again.
Right up.
$1.86.
Hey, will you look at this?
What do you got there, Peg?
One of those old bills the government called in before the war.
Oh, they got him.
Gee, I haven't seen one of these big fellas.
Oh, man, they got him.
Now, where the devil do you suppose he got this?
Yes, Agent X was doing all right for himself until he passed an obsolete bill, 1/3 larger than the present issue. Months of preparation were nullified by insufficient attention to what seemed like an insignificant detail.
Rat bastard.
Conspicuousness, blown cover. That's the fatal triple play that put German Agent X out of the game. Agent Y was a smooth operator.
All right, Agent Y, I need to learn some more drinking songs.
Good job for the Nazis in Mexico before moving on to Los Angeles to incite Mexican youths against other Americans and recruit the keenest of them into an espionage organization. He has not been in Los Angeles long, but long enough to win friends and influence zoot suitors.
Come on, kids. I got paid today. Have another shot. Brother, this tequila is murder. What the hell? The Army's getting you next week anyway. What have you got to lose? Just the stomach, that's all. Oye, muchacho. Ándale, another round.
Another round? Are you kidding? You know what time it is? A las 12. The bar is closed.
You know what time it is? It's 8:30.
Maybe that'll help keep the bar open for one more round.
So, hey, you're really a killer, aren't you?
Killer? What do you mean calling me a killer?
Killer diller, trying to buy me off for a lousy buck. When the state commission fines me $500 for selling after hours.
Oh, I see.
Ah.
That's an expression you use, eh?
We're haggling now.
Say, how long you been in L.A.?
Oh, I don't know, 3 or 4 years.
Where'd you live before that, Juanito?
San Bernardino. Come on, let's get out.
What's the nickname for San Bernardino?
What is this? Third degree?
Everyone's.
Since when do
apparently,
customers
everyone's trying to
get
sneak out
questions
spies.
by
Or
a
sniff out
stupid
spies.
waiter? Come on, muchachos.
Everyone who lives there knows the nickname of San Bernardino, brother. San Berdu. And anybody that never heard of a killer diller.
The waiter was
everyone's sniffing out the spies.
From that moment on, he kept his eyes on Senior Y. He began to notice other idiomatic slips. When his suspicions were passed over to the authorities, they were quickly confirmed. And the enemy lost a clever agent, but not quite clever enough.
I'd say, apparently he wasn't that clever, jeez.
Or a necessary part of his cover equipment.
What firm did you say you worked for in Copenhagen?
Helsingfors Dairy Company.
And what is your exact position with this company?
I'm the assistant foreign branch manager in Germany.
British Agent Z has made repeated trips to Germany under convincing commercial cover. Even when he was picked up for making a somewhat suspicious call to Copenhagen, his story was unshaken. And the way he was presenting it was even beginning to influence the expert interrogators of the SS.
Christian Dairies Incorporated.
And what is the address of this company in Copenhagen?
Gentlemen, I'd be very glad to answer your questions all day. But I have a good many business details to complete before leaving your city, and I'm quite sure you have many more important things to do.
One moment, please. We are not interested in persecuting Danes. Security police is not an organization of persecution. It is an organization that protects you against the enemies of the state.
Everyone knows the Nazis are not in the business of persecution. Come on.
You will not escape us. If you are who you say you are, you have nothing to fear from us.
Then I have your permission to leave?
Yes, you may go.
Thank you.
Pardon me, Captain. You see, hair grease. If my memory is correct, there has been no hair grease on the continent since the end of 1940.
This is preposterous.
And these guys are on top of it. Damn.
Have a sample of this hair grease. Analyzed immediately. He will be kept in solitary confinement, pending the report from the laboratory. Come along.
So you have not been in England since 1938, eh?
Then how do you account for the fact that this hair grease is a British product which has been applied with
a first-rate cover story, and an excellent man, destroyed by a few drops of hairdressing, thoughtlessly rubbed
destroyed by his hair
during his
grease.
last trip to England a few
Everyone
days
needs to take note of this.
Months of training, final weeks of thorough.
You know, I just had a funny
and our
idea.
agents are ready for the second leg of their journey.
Stay with me here. Stay with me here. I'm sure we have some fans of Mystery Science Theater here. What do you think? I just thought of this. Little silhouette there. Mystery Science Theater style. At least for now, I think it's funny.
On to base country. Charles in a heavy bomber under temporary military cover, while Al crosses as a private on a common transport. In a fashionable apartment in a base country capital, Al locates his desk.
You seem pretty well prepared on the whole. We'll have a final briefing as soon as you lose your sea legs.
Thank you.
We picked up some of the latest changes in enemy area regulations that may alter your documentation a little.
I wish they'd quit making new regulations every day. I'd sleep better.
Well, from their point of view, they think they're being very clever. If they keep changing the rules every 5 minutes, a newcomer can't stay hidden very long, theoretically. But we found that by keeping our eyes open and using our heads, we can beat that game. For instance, don't go into a strange bar and order the first thing that pops into your head. Your favorite poison may be on the verboten list that day. Look around and see what the others are drinking.
You know, I'm gonna give it a try, and I can I mean while I talk and be like, hey, yeah, what's up, guys? Hey, how's it going? Watching something about World War II. That's great. That's great. No, I just wanted the Mystery Science Theater reference. We won't keep it around. It's not there yet. Maybe I'll refine it. I'll refine it at some point, and we'll be able to add it in to the repertoire.
Then if you're stuck, appear undecided so long that the waiter will suggest something for you.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember, this is no suicide mission. It's a 24-hour-a-day job with the odds all in your favor. And to make sure of that, I always tell my men to take out life insurance.
I think that's been taken care of back in the...
No, I mean your own personal life insurance. By leaving open some avenue of escape in case things get too hot for you. Study your means of exfiltration just as carefully as infiltration. I've known men who were expert drivers in first, second, and high, but who never knew how to go into reverse.
Don't worry. I'm not the hero type.
Good.
But just how do you go about leaving this avenue?
I feel like if we're going down the road
Well,
of Mystery Science Theater, I
in the
need to be
first
just
place,
adding random
have a cover
quips the
story
whole
ready for an
time.
emergency exit. As soon as possible, hide a cache of money somewhere. And when you start building your organization, keep contacts whose only
And tell me where it is, and I definitely won't tell the enemy.
In other words, when I buy this ticket to enemy area, you want me to make sure it's a round-trip ticket.
In another base country, Charles is concentrating on last-minute details of his infiltration into enemy area.
What's your name?
Sanford.
Sanford.
Sanford and Son.
It's a good thing I'm just your base country desk, not an enemy area plainclothesman. From now on, your name's Charles Santos. The next time you give your right name, you may find your interrogator just a little less cooperative.
Christ, this
He
is
might
a
shoot
hell
you
of a
right in the
list.
face.
There's less chance of having your sleep interrupted later on. You get to know your new name better than your old.
Oh, it's practically second nature with me now. It's just that
Tomorrow, you'd better concentrate on nothing but that name. Drink it. Eat it. Walk around with it until you know it well enough to come up with it out of a sound sleep.
Okay.
Good night, Charles Santos.
Now, there are 3 or 4 different ways we can send agents into enemy area. They can go overland, either overtly, under good legal cover, or covertly, sneaking across the border with the help of the
Covertly.
underground. An agent
Oh yeah,
traveling
we're
overtly
studying espionage. This is what we're doing.
national from a neutral country under some sort of commercial
Jordy, you
cover.
gotta get ready. We're coming into China. All right, it's coming.
You should not only act as if you have nothing to hide.
The swamplings
you should
on the way to
actually have nothing
China.
to hide. Don't bring compromising materials or messages through these controls. They can be sent to you more safely by other methods once you are established in enemy area.
Don't send basic letters, you absolute
Crossing the border
retard.
covertly, as thousands are doing in Europe these days, don't carry a map with you.
It's unhealthy. Unless you carry it in your own head. Memorize the principal landmarks and the basic topography of the area you're entering until you can make your own model of the country on the sand table. If a guide is necessary, be sure you check his reliability.
And make sure he's not dressed like a random Frenchman.
Who charge you
What's
exorbitant
with that
prices,
striped shirt and bandana? I mean,
money. The enemy may be just as bright as yours.
oh, bonjour. Would you like to try my
Borders
baguette?
breed double agents who charge you $1,000 to lead you over the border, and being eminently fair, charge the enemy an equal amount to lead them to you.
Oh.
If you're worried about doubling back on yourself, use your ingenuity in fashioning an impromptu chart of your course, camouflaged.
Ah, yes,
as
genius.
harmless
Write
doodling.
shit down. Write it down. Ingenious.
After you've crossed the frontier, don't get overconfident about those border controls. You're in a 24-hour-a-day battle of wits, and the enemy has secret weapons of his own. Keep moving across country by a circuitous route. For the border isn't a black thread across the map. It's a strip at least 15 miles wide, infested with collaborationists, counter-espionage agents,
And it really looks
special
like this,
police,
which means you can't
human
see a
landmines
damn thing.
hidden among the native population to blast your cover. And finally, when you reach a town far enough inland, don't enter it from the border side. Circle around it and enter it from the other side, as if you were coming from the interior.
Wow. There's a euphemism there somewhere.
As
I'm
I
just
understood
not
it,
really
that
sure what it
was
is.
plane. Yes. In your case, it will be safer and faster to drop you by parachute. We, like our men do, have a good working knowledge of other methods of penetration.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Plane landings I've heard of.
Naturally, when we have a field that we can land on safely without being discovered, it's more efficient. We can pick up an outgoing agent at the same time, for instance. But the only place we can land on safely now is guerrilla
I feel like I need to
territory.
change the name of this stream
How low is
to
this plane gonna be when I
Mystery
jump?
Science Theater.
Maybe it'd be a good idea for you to sit down with a pilot who's going to fly you in. He'll give you the dope on just how it's going to be.
And another thing, we never set a date until we're damn sure we found the right dropping point. Like this one we picked out for you, for instance. It's just about perfect. It's a level grassy space large enough to allow for adverse wind conditions. And it's far enough removed from trees and telegraph wires so that daylight won't find you hanging out there like an ornament on a Christmas tree.
Luckily, my teacher in the 1940s beat the shit out of me, so I learned what shapes are.
It's 15 miles to the nearest anti-aircraft setup, and my buddies will create a little diversion over there to keep their minds off us until we've set you down.
Sorry if you haven't been here
There's a
since the
river running
beginning.
close
That was
to
a
it
reference to
I can
another
follow
one.
practically all the way in, and a couple of little lakes on the other side that make pretty good landmarks to help me spot the place in the moonlight. About a mile away from the dropping point, there's a safe house, owned by a peasant working with us. The liaison chief will be there waiting for you.
This is what the teacher should have said. He was threatening him with detention. He said, "You'll be murdered by Nazis if you don't learn the
Everything's
shapes."
on schedule. How soon will they be here? 33 minutes. Take the radio out and bury it, Mary.
If only I knew the quadratic formula.
The container being dropped with Al is bulky evidence of Al's arrival, unless it can be buried deep enough and fast enough. For empty containers, buried instantly, tell no tales.
Right on time.
Let's go.
I forgot what we're watching. Is this Invasion of the Body Snatchers? What's going on? shit. Oh, that's, I gotta say, that is definitely CGI. That's ultra CGI right there. What year was this? 1944? Yeah, they toned down the CGI. Why not just have a guy actually parachute?
Any broken bones?
No, I think I made it all in one piece.
Our friend's farm is up the hill there, just about a mile. I'll show you the way.
What about my gear?
Don't worry, the boys will take care of it.
Fine, let's go.
While Al enjoys a much-needed rest, Charles employs another method of infiltration in reaching enemy area coast.
I'm excited about this other method of infiltration.
And itinerant fishermen, both familiar sights to this waterfront town, provide the most natural sort of cover for Charles' arrival. Can you pick him out? No? I'm afraid the enemy area shore patrol could.
I mean, isn't he the guy standing up?
Yours, Charles.
Oh,
Look around
I guess I was wrong.
Short, jerky strokes. Not the most graceful in the world, but better adapted to choppy surfs and heavy
Oh,
boats.
come on. No one's that retarded when it comes to freaking rowing a boat. I mean,
Where do you think
jeez.
you are, Charlie? Back in the dear old Harvard shell?
It's a simple rhythm.
Yes, just a
Get
detail.
with it.
But the kind of detail the enemy shore patrol is watching for.
Those are some sweet beanies they got. With little pom-poms on top.
Wait a minute there, Charles. How about that knot? Don't tell me you've forgotten the fishermen here have their own particular method of tying
Son of a bitch, Charles.
Keep your eyes open and your mind open, Charles. Otherwise, you're liable to tie that knot around your own neck.
God, that's exactly what I was about to say.
As soon as curfew is lifted, Al hits the road to the nearest railway terminal.
No, that's the guy.
Asking where he's coming from.
That's the guy from the day the Earth stood still,
From
right?
the farm where I was convalescing after I was evacuated from the bombed city of Coburg.
And where was he going?
To enemy town to visit my
My name is
fiancée
Klaatu.
and try to get a part-time job until I'm strong enough to get into a war plant.
Wait, is this the same road from The Sound of Music? It's a dead ringer.
Oh boy, maybe I can get a hitch to the station.
Wait a minute, Al. What did they tell you about cars in enemy area?
Wait, Al, I thought this
9
was
out of 10 they're
Charles.
state officials. Just the boys who might ask embarrassing questions. Better hoof it, brother.
Like, when did you lose your
Better to find
virginity,
a hole in
Al?
your shoe than a hole in your cover.
Those embarrassing questions. Yeah, I mean, this is terrible cover.
That's right.
Guy
Listen,
dressed in amazing
Real
clothes
natural
walking down a rural road.
Just a second.
I mean, what kind
What's that
what
you're
kind of
listening?
what kind of cover is
Wait
this?
till the sun shines, Nellie. That's
Oh yes, of course. Walking down a random rural road in Germany is Frank
They weren't kidding
Sinatra.
when they told you at the schools that this was a
So I guess maybe in
24-hour
those
day
days
job.
that was kind of
Even
normal.
what you whistle has to conform to cover.
Whistle the German songs, Al.
So far, so good, Al. You're not taking the bus because the police are watching the buses pretty carefully these days. Instead, as soon as enemy area restrictions allow daylight travel, you've located the first rural station in the opposite direction from the dropping point.
Yeah, that's a good point, QRD. I guess back in these days, this was not a stereotypical spy outfit. If I was to make a cheesy film, this is what the spy would look like. Hands down. Absolutely. Oh, here we go. God, they gave him a fake swastika armband? They had a bunch of real swastikas in this. What's with the
Al.
fake armband?
Sit back and take this half control in stride. You've left all compromising material behind to be sent to you later at a previously arranged address. And you know your temporary cover story for this trip.
The nudes of your wife are on the
Because
way.
you tested it
Don't
for
carry
leaks
them
at the
on you.
farmhouse last night.
And beware of the Four-Square Diamond Squad, formerly known as the SS.
What's your name?
Albert Horn.
Where are you coming from? The farm near Faubourg?
A farm, huh? You don't look like a farmer.
I'm not. I was evacuated after being bombed out of a hospital in Faubourg.
Oh. Where are you headed?
Enemy town?
Sorry to ask you so many questions.
Enemy town? Did you say enemy town?
The neighborhood last night, and we can't take any chances. Why are you going to enemy town?
I can show you.
Wow.
Not bad.
Enemy town? Son, here we call it friend town. You must be a spy.
Oh, it's my patriotic duty.
Patriotic duty, huh? I wish all our patriotic duties could be so pleasant.
Well, the Four-Square Diamond Squad is totally fine with everything you're doing.
In enemy town, halfway between the dropping point and the capital, Al heads for the address he was given by the liaison chief.
The Four-Square Diamond Squad doesn't kill Jews. We kill those opposed to mathematics.
Mr. Durant? Yes? Someone told me you were looking for an assistant.
An assistant? I could use an assistant. How much experience have you had?
I was a mechanic in the Army, 2 years in the tank corps.
Good. I've been looking for a man with your kind of training.
Then I'm your man.
Now, that sign is badass. I mean, all jokes aside, we should have signs like that now.
Come on inside.
George Durand,
Thank you, sir.
machinist. That is badass as hell. I'd
Over
work
the
there.
noise of the machines, Durand gives Al the necessary instructions for the last leg of his journey to the capital.
Man, it was easy to get jobs back then, wasn't it? Hi, I would like a job. Well, you seem like a nice white man. Come in. Let me tell you my trade.
Nowadays, they take 4/5 of our catch. So we use this for chowder. The foreman sees you throwing this away, and they wonder where you were when he warned you about it 4 weeks ago.
Oh, I'll just tell him I was out of town that day for my old lady's funeral.
I can see you're a very brave man. If you don't mind my saying so...
Well, I mean, you know that they don't have to fake German accents
Look at these
because
fellas around you.
clearly this isn't in Germany. They're going after enemy town
You're half dead.
with the
Hunger and sadness.
Square Diamond
Work
Squad,
twice as
who is
hard
afraid
for
of
half as much.
anti-mathematic people.
Sons are taken away from them.
All legit.
Children die. Their will to live is very weak. Only men like us are not broken yet. But we must appear beaten too, so as not to stand out from the others.
Remember the agent's first commandment, Charles. Don't be conspicuous.
Do not kill. Oh, what?
Good cover doesn't come automatically with the right clothes. You must put on a new attitude, a new disposition, to fit those foul-smelling baggy pants and the old boots. The best cover story in the world won't protect you if you cannot...
Guy looks like a heroin addict. Oh, wait. Sorry, this is supposed to be 40s Germany. that guy's in a lot of amphetamines. It's part of the character. It's part of the character.
Al has stayed with his friend in enemy town long enough to build up his recent past. He's ready to establish himself in the capital of the enemy area.
Are we back to Charles, or is this still Al? I'm confused. Nice car.
Here it is. A big city. Where do I go from here?
Enemy town. I'm in enemy town.
Geez, I better look like I know where I'm going. Provisional quarters. What did they tell me about this back at the schools?
I don't know.
Quarters.
Let's whisper some more. At least no one was able to hear what he was thinking. Yeah, keep it quiet.
A big hotel. How about that? Lots of people. Easy to lose myself in there. full of loose talk.
Is this Charles?
Might get a chance to pick up a little info.
I'm confused. What? So there was Charles and Al. Is this Al?
That's why
So this the other guy was Charles.
That's why the desk clerks,
The meth head
maids,
was
the waiters,
Charles.
the bellboys are all on the payroll of the secret police. And how about conformity to cover? What's a mechanic doing at the best hotel?
Yes, I must keep quiet so that I can't even hear my own thoughts.
The sort of thing a fellow like me might look for after being laid up.
Absolutely.
And if the family turned out to be sympathetic.
No, that's what I'm
Boarding
talking
with a
about.
family is a good idea, if you know the family. If they're overly suspicious, it's too easy for them to keep tabs on you.
Hey, Klaatu
If they're
in
overly friendly,
The Day the
they
Earth
might
Stood Still was able to board with a family he didn't know. If an
No.
alien can do it, you
Better
can
keep
do
on
it.
going, Al. But keep it in mind when you're ready for permanent quarters.
A lodging house. That's the sort of place a mechanic might go.
That's what I'm looking
There's too many of them in town for the cops.
Is it creepy when I keep whispering?
I'm running a respectable house right now. The nerve of him bringing that hussy right upstairs.
Forget their talkative landlady, Al. She'll be watching you like a hawk. No matter how discreet you are, she'll find something to talk about.
Well, I've got anything like that going on. The very idea. I gave him a piece of my mind, I did.
Now here's an idea. A streetwalker's apartment. The most natural thing in the world. No register. No questions asked. Why, it's just what I need to get me over there on my first night in a strange city.
All right, this is getting uncomfortable.
Sorry
Dude,
to
stop
spoil your
whispering in my ear. Holy
But
crap.
remember, every prostitute's an informer, or a potential informer. And that's a good reason.
Hey, you
for
heard it here
staying out of
first,
brothels, too.
gentlemen.
Plus the fact that
Remember,
is constantly being
every
interrupted by
prostitute
snap
is an
control.
informer. They may not talk to the government about you, but they sure will be known to Christ himself.
A migratory clientele. Sailors coming and going at all hours. Would give me lots of freedom of movement.
I'm so glad that I abandoned the prostitute so I could go to a place called Seaman's
Attracting
Rest.
agent provocateurs and snap
They'll
control.
never find me here.
And again, conformity to cover. Would a respectable craftsman pick a dive like this?
A medium-sized hotel. Not important enough to be headquarters for secret police. Not so small that I'll be watched too closely. And just about the right size for my economic status. This may do the trick.
You can't find perfect
This might be the
security
most
anywhere in
suspicious
town.
man I've ever seen in
This
my
is
life
probably
ever,
your
doing
safest
anything
bet
at any
for
place at any
investigating.
point in time.
So you might as well go in and get some shut-eye.
Walking around whispering about prostitutes.
Meanwhile, we'll take a swing over to the coast and see how old friend Charles is getting along. Charles was supposed to spend 2 or 3 weeks in the fishing village where he landed, building up his...
Yeah, it's true. This was the earliest ASMR
But 2 or
stuff.
3 weeks to the average agent is
The
just
German prostitutes will betray you to the government. Look out.
How about letting me walk you home after?
Is that turning you on?
Some other time, maybe. When my boyfriend gets shipped out again. He's over there now.
What?
In the corner.
Oh, well, fuck this bitch.
He gets sort of jealous sometimes.
Clearly, this is a psyop, my brother.
eh?
Do not fall for the obvious
What does he
psyop.
look like?
This is kind of a hangout for them, isn't it?
The attractive blonde girl
You better
saying,
drink your beer.
"That's my boyfriend over
All
there.
right,
I don't
all right.
like him. Come and talk
Any
to me
idea
and
how
tell me
soon
all
he's
your
getting out
secrets."
Say, for a fisherman, you ask an awful
Damn
lot
it,
of
Charles.
questions.
Stop doing the amphetamines.
You wouldn't like me to sit around here like a clam.
No, I guess not. I get kind of tired looking at these fishermen hanging around here like a lot of sour apples. But you're sort of different. Oh, I better get back to my sailor now. He's got his eye on me.
Wow, yeah, he does. Holy crap. I don't want to piss that guy off.
You keep the change.
Say, what do you catch out there? Goldfish? Here you are, Rudy. Another beer. No, it's all right.
Yeah, you know, if you want to disguise yourself in Nazi Germany in 1945, you go, ha ha ha, oh, check out my baguette. Ha ha
I
ha.
don't know. He seemed honest.
Well, son of a bitch. That's a German if I've ever seen one.
Interesting. You must have drunk too much of your own beer. Why, all these stupid fishermen are the same.
Not this one. He seems a lot smarter than the others.
I am the German.
With you.
Let me drink my wine. Do you have more of the
If this
amphetamine?
were a Hollywood movie, that would be the beginning. But here in enemy area...
What accent am I even getting into? I'm not really sure. How you say the amphetamine?
What's the matter, Al? Have a bad night? Getting jittery?
Oh man, the walls are talking to Al now. The walls are talking to him.
To the best of them.
Calm down, Al. It's okay. You're doing better than the weird Charlie Frenchman. I mean, you're still completely insane, but you're doing better than him.
Well, why don't you start doing something about it? Nobody around here stays in his room all day.
Son of a bitch. This guy's he's a schizophrenic. This is the son of Sam. Kill the Germans. Do it now. Come on now.
Looks okay. Guess I'll go out and have a look around.
Kill them. Kill them. Oh shit, this is when the neighbor's dog comes and talks to him.
It's probably
In
nothing.
a demonic voice.
Keep her waiting, and you start talk.
Do it, Al. Murder them all.
Come in.
Good morning, sir. May I clean your room now?
Oh, why, sure. I was just getting ready to go out.
Well, it was a little better last night, wasn't it, sir? But I hear they knocked out a ball bearing factory on the outskirts.
Well, that's a shame.
Yes, the way things are going, they'll need every man in the country now.
Tell me about it.
Sir?
Well, I got a job at the Falcon plant.
The Falcon plant? Why, that's where my cousin works. What department are you in?
Ah, shit. Ah, shit.
I mean, I've got an appointment for a job at the Falcon plant.
Well, good for you. I hear they're taking on a lot of men these days.
See, it's quite a bus ride out there. I better be going.
Well, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
He's gonna have to turn Frau Bluka into glue. She knows. She knows. I really didn't intend for this to become Mystery Science Theater. But I dig it. I like it.
My God, I think he's going to stop me.
At least we have some people in the Discord who got the Frau Bluka reference.
If something frightens you, don't run away from it. Turn and meet it. Easy does it now.
Easy does it.
Pardon me, officer. Do you have the right time?
10:35.
Thank you very much.
But this, I really don't understand how this movie started with swastikas and now it's this weird square, square diamond logo.
Copies out of my hand. Why, I'll be operating before I know it.
You son of a bitch. The walls are closing in.
Don't you know you shouldn't throw things in the street?
I'm sorry, sir. I guess I
Those
forgot.
evil Nazis preventing
Signs all
litter.
over town warning you against it? Let me see your identification card.
Man, this guy.
Pick it up. In future, observe the regulations.
Don't make me call the Fuhrer on you, because I will.
Operating before you know it. Blowing before you know it, you mean?
That's right, Al. An overconfident agent doesn't have to look for trouble. He'll find it just as surely as Student Charles.
You could just not be a dick, you know.
All
Don't
set to make sensational
don't litter.
disclosures. The goddamned idiot! What the hell's he trying to do? Show off?
Al Porter's a pretty vital spot. He ought to have his brains examined.
If he has any left after the enemy secret police get through with him.
All right, let's take a brief break. Hang on 1 second.
Who's there? Give the password. Who's there?
For some reason, my Stream Deck just totally stopped working. But that's how it's been going. For some reason, the Stream Deck has. It's been a hard night, man. Oh, and the animations aren't working. That's just how. Oh, hey, it's back. Okay, well, the animations are back. Let's see. No, the Stream Deck's not working. Well, while I fix this real quick, if you like the channel, don't forget, Super Chats. Activate the Super Chat jukebox. This movie only has about less than 15 minutes left, so we're getting towards the end. I hope you've been digging the the new Mystery Science Theater format. I'm actually digging it. It kind of feels right, you know? I grew up watching that. Let's see if... Nope. Stream Deck still is not working. Why is the Stream Deck... Suddenly the Stream Deck doesn't work. Yeah, I think I'm going to add this in, though, as when we switch to full screen, like we've always done on the Saturday streams, I'm going to add the silhouettes, but I'm going to add the couch in there. So you'll see the couch. I think that'll make it way better. I've always wanted to do a Mystery Science Theater type show. I've talked with my dad and my brother about it, and we've all said, like, yeah, we could totally do that. Little did I know that I had it going right now, and I never knew. Or how about now? Nope. Stream Deck has officially stopped working. What the hell? Why is that? I don't understand. Yep, not changing at all. Hell, hopefully I'm still freaking live. I don't even. I'm just hitting hotkeys and nothing. And well, at least maybe some of it's still working. I can see the facial expressions are still working, so there's that. Well, we're gonna have to go old school then, which means that the Stream Deck doesn't work anymore, which is a huge pain in the ass because I use that for all kinds of triggers and stuff. But I guess we'll have to go back old school, and I'll just have to click on things. What is this? What is this? 1944 spy training nonsense? This is absurd. All right, don't forget, unless you live in China, you should check out the merch. Be armed, be dangerous, be moral. Hats, t-shirts. donate to the PayPal to support the channel. And of course, super chats, activate the super chat jukebox. Oh, that's a bummer. Actually, I'm totally wrong. The super chat jukebox won't actually work. I'll have to do it manually because the Stream Deck isn't working. This the first world problems that we have to deal with is just it's absurd. That's weird. That's never happened before. That in the middle of the Stream Deck stopped working. I've had issues with Streamlabs, but never the Stream Deck. Yeah, it's done. Okay, so it's not working at all. Maybe I could try to restart it. Quit Stream Deck. Bring back Stream Deck? No? Maybe? Yeah, who knows? Oh yeah, it just wow, yeah, everything got reset and I can't even fix it. I can't even click on it. Okay, well. That's not your guys' problem. That's my problem. So I will deal with that some other time. Check out the merch. Super chats will manually activate the super chat jukebox from now on. Let's finish this out. There's about 15 minutes left. So let's check back with Charles and Al and see how it's gone. Having to do all this manually now, which is just kind of ridiculous if you ask me. I live in the first world. You'd think that this would not be a problem.
Let's see. Weren't you the fellow who didn't have to study up because he knew this spot by heart? Look at you, soaking wet, out of breath, in danger of your life. If you were a good agent, instead of just a daring one, you'd be home in bed like any other respectable member of enemy area society.
Well, your papers seem to be in order.
Like any other respectable member of enemy area society, Al gets a war production job.
Report to the East Gate on the night shift.
Any member,
Thank you, sir.
respectable. Of course.
Moves in with a private family. Makes friends with his fellow workers. Attends the government labor rallies. Listens faithfully to all official broadcasts.
I like that nice backward speech. Do you hear that?
Receives praise from performers and conscientious workers. Takes a stroll through the park on his way to his job on the night shift. Like any other respectable member of enemy area society.
Like any respectful member of Nazi society, he does not litter anymore when he was when he was a filthy Westerner. A filthy American.
Mind if I look at your paper?
Help yourself.
Thanks.
I'd be insulted if he didn't.
Say, I see we shot down 12 more of their bombers last night.
Yeah, the situation seems to be improving.
I hope so. These last few weeks have been pretty tough.
Yeah. Want to take a look at the sport page?
Thanks. Say, the champion's going to try to make a comeback after all. I thought he was all finished.
Oh, say, the Germans are beating the shit out of the Jews. That's what I like to see.
Conversation on a park bench.
Eh, fellow Nazi?
That's the way it looks to passersby. But this casual conversation covers the first meeting between our agent and the cutout who will carry his first message to the WT man.
Yeah, they're visiting
Radio
Enemy
from
Town.
Enemy
It's like a Burger Town from Call of Duty. Established and fucking plant. Yeah. Secure. Here we are back to old the Frenchman. Believe I'm being followed. You're telling me the guy who dressed up like a Frenchman and went into Germany is being followed? Hello, fellow Nazis. Would you like some of my red wine and anti-Semitic bread?
Well, that's it. It may not make super
And
agents out of
that
any
was
of
something.
you, but we thought it might stimulate some interesting discussion.
100%.
Its main value, it seems to me, is in orienting you toward the type of work you will be doing. As Colonel Robinson has told you, it is not an attempt to teach specific techniques, but merely to present in a little more realistic form the basic concepts and general principles which apply to all undercover and semi-cover activities, even in neutral countries or in the Far East, where specific techniques would differ greatly from those portrayed here. Of course, very few of you will ever be given missions like the ones Al and Charlie had to tackle. Most of you will be recruiting, training, or handling agents, or performing those routine service jobs for OSS that seem to have
And please,
so
for the
little
love
connection
of
with our
God,
agents in
never
enemy-occupied
act like a
territory.
Frenchman
But
while
every
speaking
single
to the
job, from
Germans.
camp cook to jump master, is a part of the lifeline connecting the agent in the field.
Yeah,
with
I
his
guess a
home
lot of
office.
people miss that. This
matter how
was
removed
people
your job may
watching an
seem,
educational film.
The degree of your conscientiousness in maintaining security
It's
can
meta.
be the difference
It's meta.
between success or failure in the field thousands of miles away. And if this picture has shortened the distance between you and the man at the end of the line, it is serving a valuable purpose. But regardless of where you fit into the picture, this film, despite its entertainment value, is really a textbook in disguise. And the value of any textbook is your ability to digest the material to where it is something not merely memorized, but actually transfused into your own thought processes. An analytic discussion of this picture
Oh,
will
well,
undoubtedly
I got it
crystallize
now.
and develop many points that had to be skimmed over in a film as general as this. The first question that came to my mind, for instance, was whether the desk man was right in sending Charles to El Porto in the first place. He'd
First
probably
question that came to my
justify his
mind is, are
decision
you
by
a Charles?
maintaining
Are you an Al?
Charlie's thorough
Are you a
knowledge of the
methamphetamine
area
addict?
and his
Or are
subjective
you a
motivation for
crazy
the job
Frenchman?
outweighed his personal shortcomings. Or you might, in running this picture again, test yourself for observation of those. Did you notice, for instance, in the scene where Al was sweating it out in the hotel room that first morning in the capital, that he rubbed out in the ashtray a cigarette that had only been half smoked? Well, in a country where cigarettes have become
No
scarce and
self-respecting
precious
German
commodity,
would ever do this.
wouldn't this wastefulness make him conspicuous? Well, that gives you an idea of some of the things that you and your other instructors can kick around.
Yep.
And each time you see this picture, I think you will find it more instructive and more provocative. All right, now you've got the floor.
Oh, well. If I've got the floor, apparently I have the floor now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out. I hope you had a good time. I think this is going to be the new format. We've been having a great time with the archive footage and all that. I got to make it Mystery Science Theater style. That's the way to do it. I mean, if we're not doing that, what are we doing? So don't forget, if you would like to have your take on what is woke, defining the word woke, in one of my upcoming videos, I've got a few YouTubers and other musicians and different people interested in being on it. If you want your take on it included in it, email it to me, message me on Twitter, message me on Discord. There's a lot of different ways you can be in it. It can be as simple as you just writing text, and I will turn it into, I'll use a voice generator and animate it. If you'd like to send a voice message, I can also animate it. If you'd like to take a video on your phone of yourself talking about this, tell me if you would like your face actually shown. I can blur it, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of different things. So if you're interested, send me a message and just say, how can I be a part of this? And I will list out for you all the ways that you can be involved for What is Woke. So that's what we're going to do. What is woke? All right, guys. My name is Swamp. And I'll see you guys next time.